Here we have verse 29 of the 24th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has been describing for his disciples and expecting, of course, they will pass this on to the Christians, especially those living in that area, but this will be distributed throughout the Christian world concerning the cataclysms that are about to befall the Holy Land in general and Jerusalem in particular. He continues here, eutheus, indeclinable adverb, immediately, postpositive dubit, immediately, meta with the accusative means after, so immediately after, tain thlipsin, after the affliction, tone, genitive plural, tone the days, ekanon, those days. So there's going to be affliction that is described earlier in the various events that Jesus has mentioned to them. And now, of course, it heightens the drama here. So after the affliction of those days, he says, ho helios. Helio, of course, our prefix meaning the sun, scotis thesitai. This is from scotidzo. It means to darken. Skotos means darkness. This is the future passive, third person singular. So the sun will be darkened. Imagery taken from Isaiah chapter 13 and elsewhere, where cataclysms on earth are described in terms of heavenly events to kind of heighten the drama here. So the sun will be darkened, meaning that the light of orderly society, that sort of thing, is going to be disintegrating. Kai, he, selene, and the moon is the word. Udose, the future of didomi, to give, will not give. To phagos, it's a word for light. It's derived from the word phos, will not give her light. Again, we have a similar description in Isaiah 13 and 14, parts of Ezekiel use the same kind of description, not describing, of course, actual celestial phenomena, which is the effect of our Western tradition, tending to attach scientific meanings to these things, but it's using the genre of Old Testament prophetic literature, which would commonly describe earthly catastrophes in terms of heavenly disorder of this sort. Kai, connective, hoi, asteres, the stars. This is from austere, the word for star. Pesuntai, from pipto, to fall. This is the future, will fall. The stars will fall. Apo, from to or renew. Of course, it's inconceivable. Even one star fell, of course, it would incinerate everything in its path, and the earth would cease to exist. This is not to be taken as some kind of literal description. But again, it's the kind of vocabulary that's used, Isaiah 13, Ezekiel 32. Other texts in the Old Testament will describe collapse of earthly political authority using these kinds of extravagant descriptive terms. Kai, connective, hoi, dunames, the powers, tone or renown of the heavens, and then saluthesontai, will be shaken. Of course, Haggai speaks of a shaking of the nations. The last few verses of Hebrews chapter 12 use that shaking imagery, and this is certainly following the same pattern, that there's going to be a great shaking of the earthly order to give way for the new covenant era, the establishing of the kingdom, and that means a shaking away of those things that can be shaken, so that the things that cannot be shaken will remain, as the author to Hebrews makes emphatically and quite clearly the point of the quote there from Haggai.